All right, so welcome to today's morning session. The three mini webinars that this morning session is going to consist of is going to be what is the SBRC, and we'll talk about how we help small businesses and entrepreneurs. We're going to go over business entities and registering with the Secretary of State of Missouri, and then also we're going to go over Facebook and branding for your small business. Today's webinar session is brought to you by the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation through the Small Business Resource Center, which we are funded by the SBA. The Small Business Resource Center is a nonprofit organization brought to you by the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation. We are funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration through the Community Navigator Pilot Program. We provide no-cost consulting to entrepreneurs and small businesses in Jefferson, Franklin, Washington, St. Francis, and St. Genevieve counties in Missouri. We also connect these clients with resources or spokes to assist them with other services such as accounting, legal, marketing, and funding through loan application assistance. As a disclaimer, the purpose of this presentation is to provide general information only. It is not intended to be a comprehensive summary of any ordinances, regulations, or laws. The information presented does not constitute legal advice, and one should always contact their attorney, CPA, or any other professional or authoritative agency with any questions or concerns. So, first and foremost, what is the SBRC and how can it help your small business? Before we get into that, I feel it is very important to let everyone know the SBRC is not a funding source. We did receive a grant from the SBA to be able to operate the SBRC. Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation was one in 51 agencies who were awarded a grant by the Small Business Administration. This grant provides the funding to operate the SBRC, and it allows the SBRC to pay for the services received by our clients from our resource partners or spokes. So we are not any type of a funding source. We received a grant to be able to operate, to provide services. We don't give grants, we don't give loans. So, what is the Community Navigator Pilot Program? You can learn more about the CNPP program on the SBA site at sba.gov/CNPP. As a program overview, this is through the Community Navigator Pilot Program that the SBA is engaging with states, local governments, SBA resource partners, and other organizations like JFCAC in targeted outreach for small businesses in underserved communities. The program offers funding to nonprofits, state and local governments, universities, and tribal entities to partner with the SBA at the center of a hub and spoke network. These hubs then support spoke organizations, which are trusted, culturally knowledgeable local groups and individuals who will connect to specific sectors of the entrepreneurial community to provide assistance during economic recovery, including financial assistance and access to capital, contracting and procurement, marketing, operations, business development, and exporting, and industry-specific training. For for additional information, you can see the SBA's information notice, and you can check the frequently asked questions section out as well. All right, so how do you receive assistance from the SBRC? Our registration process is fairly easy. You can visit our page on the JFCAC's website, which is jfcac.org/SBRC for Small Business Resource Center. You'll enter your information about yourself and your business. Please understand, we do not ask for personal data. We don't ask for your date of birth. We don't ask for your social security number. We want to know who you are and what business you have. That's it. And to make sure you're located here in Missouri, of course, in the areas that we service. After you register, a business coach reaches out and they introduce themselves and they do the initial consult with you to evaluate your needs for your business. Your business coach will then advise you of what spokes they're referring you to meet your needs and give you assistance. And then they also provide your information to the spoke so that the spoke can reach out to you to schedule your assistance. All right, so you will hear me refer to the hub and spoke model. Again, the SBRC is the hub, and our spokes are our partners, our providers, such as our legal partner, our marketing partner, our accounting partner. So those we refer to as spokes. So again, here's the SBRC in the middle of the wheel, and then we've got our marketing, legal, funding, because we do speak with financial organizations on the regular, and our accounting spokes. So, first, let's talk about how we can help with marketing. We do have a marketing spoke who assists SBRC clients with the development and creation of, and that's going to be important in a moment. They help with logo and branding development, website and social media page development, and they help design business cards, signage, merchandise, etc. What we do not cover, we do not pay for, is advertising campaigns, billboards, things like that. We don't pay for the continual cost of running the website or social media management, and we don't pay for any tangible or physical materials like business cards themselves, signs, merchandise, etc. So our marketing spoke can help you design your business card, and we'll cover for that cost for that consultation of the designing. But if you want to print, say, 1,000 business cards, that cost does fall on you as the entrepreneur, as the business owner. So we won't be able to pay for those actual cards. And legal. We do have our legal spoke, and that assists our clients with various legal services such as contracts review, business formations, commercial transactions, and other legal services as needed. And funding. Once again, we are not a funding source, but we do assist clients apply for funding in different ways. We can assist them with writing a business plan because business plans are required to apply for any type of business funding. And that is for new businesses or existing businesses. Even if you own a business that's been up and running and established for 10 years and you go to apply for a business loan, at this point, the financial organizations are asking, oh, and here's Naomi, give me a moment to get her admitted. Oh, thank you. Financial organizations are asking even established business owners for business plans. So that is something that we can help with, our business coaches can help with. And then we also help with applying for grants and loans. And then we can also refer you out to our various contacts at banks and other financial organizations for more in-depth consultations. They can help you figure out what loan might be right for you and what might be right for your business. And accounting. Our accounting spoke assists SBRC clients with many accounting services like tax review. They do not process your taxes. They do not do your taxes for you. That is not something that we at the SBRC pay for, but they can review your taxes to see if something was wrong or they're set up incorrectly. They can help you with budgeting. They can help you with setting up for bookkeeping, payroll review to make sure everything is being taken out properly and in the right amounts, percentages, things like that. And then they can also help you with bookkeeping software setup and transition, and also separating personal and business funds. This is a big one. This is a question that we get a lot. We get a lot of people who are interested in starting their own business, and they say, they call in and they say, okay, I want to get a business loan to start my business. Okay, great. So we go through the typical questions in that initial consultation with them. And then they say, well, what I plan on doing is I have some personal debt. So when I get this business loan, I'm going to clear up that personal debt and then use what's left for my business funding. That is absolutely not how that works. You cannot do that. That is piercing the corporate veil. That is a term that comes up quite often. You cannot do that. You have to separate your personal and your business funds. What happens if you use business funds for personal use and anything happens and there's a liability that occurs or an incident that occurs and someone comes after your business, they try to sue you, and they see that you are paying personal things out of your business account, then they can say that there is no separation of personal and business, and they can come after your house, they can come after your car, they can come after you personally and make you personally liable for whatever happened. So you always want to make sure that you are separating business and personal funds. All right, so let's talk a bit about our partners and spokes. While our spokes do a great job of assisting our clients, there are times we need to reach out to other organizations to assist our clients with other services. That's where I come in. So, for example, if a client needs IT services, we do not have a spoke that provides those types of services. So, I'll research and reach out to area companies to partner with us here at the SBRC to see if they're interested in providing those services for our client. Our spokes are actually contracted with the SBRC to provide services to our clients and in turn provide reporting back to the SBRC on how they helped that client. Our partners agree to help us with specific projects and clients on an as needed basis. So, as far as, excuse me, as far as that reporting goes from our spokes, that is absolutely necessary for us because that is how we report back to the SBA that we are meeting our goals and our quotas that are set forth, that we are in fact helping area businesses. We are helping businesses, start up, grow, recover, and stay in business. So that is the proof is in the pudding. So that is our pudding that we give back to the SBA to show that we're doing our job and they didn't make a mistake by giving us the grant. So, no cost services. So, a lot of the advertising that is out there about the SBRC, if not all of it, says no cost services, free assistance, things like that, because it is truly free. Our business coaches provide no cost consulting to clients, advising them on how to file their business with the state of Missouri, which we'll go over shortly, how to create a business plan, and providing grant assistance. When our business coaches refer a client to a spoke or partner, they communicate the needs of that client and what services we will cover for that client. This prevents any miscommunications or services being provided to the client that we are not able to pay for. Again, what we don't cover. Services provided to the clients when there has been no referral made cannot be covered by the SBRC. So if you register with us, but there is no referral made to our accounting spoke, you as the business owner cannot reach out to the accounting spoke and say, yeah, I just registered with the SBRC. They said that you're going to do my tax review for me. Go ahead and do it. If we didn't send a referral over to that accounting spoke, then that is not something that we are able to cover. And again, those tangible materials, those physical materials cannot be covered by the SBRC. And then we cannot assist any client wishing to have a business dealing with any marijuana type merchandise or paraphernalia. While marijuana is now legal in Missouri, it is still illegal federally, so the SBA funds cannot be utilized to help that type of business. And there are some other business entities that apply for that we cannot assist, but we won't quite get into that. And we are not a one and done deal. So this is a big one. As a client of the SBRC, you can get assistance from all of our spokes. You don't have to come to us and just go, well, I could really use help from all of your spokes, but I really only, but I only want to use my assistance on the accounting spoke. That's not how that works. You can get assistance from our accounting spoke, from our attorney, from our marketing spoke, and then stay in contact with us, of course. As it says, you must remain active and in communication with our business coaches to maintain your eligibility for SBRC to pay for your services received from our spokes. Once we refer you out, we are going to follow up with you and say, how are you doing? We're following up to make sure, hey, did the spoke reach back out to you? Are you getting the services that you need? Are you happy with this? Are you able to move forward with your business because of the assistance that we're providing? We just have to stay in contact again because we need that to go back to the SBA to say we are helping. If we are not getting return phone calls, if we're not getting return emails, we do have to close the file out, which means we no longer pay for services. And once you receive those services, and a little while later you need help with something again, you can absolutely come back and say, hey, I need help from the attorney again, and we'll send out a new referral. So this is something that we can continue to help you with. It's not a one and done deal by any means. So, just a quick success story here. Excuse me, success story. Brooke Reed, she is the creator and founder of Picture Perfect Potty Company, and that link is shared here. She actually went and started a business that you see on job sites, you see at fairs, you see at all kinds of different things. The typical gray or green fiberglass porta potties. Well, if you're having a little bit of an upscale event that it's outdoors, or you don't want people coming into your business or your home to use your restroom, this is an amazing uh, different choice that you have. She took a very nice enclosed trailer and made full bathrooms in this trailer. I believe the one that she started had two bathrooms in it, and it is beautiful. It is a full-fledged bathroom. You walk in, you open the door, you walk in, there's a sink, there's a toilet, there's a cabinet, there's a mirror, there's decorations. I mean, it is a running water, flushable toilet. I mean, it is wonderful, it is beautiful, and she was actually just featured on Channel 5, I believe, for St. Louis. So she was just featured on there also. But as her success story, she gave a little bit of a testimonial. Starting a small business from scratch with nothing more than an idea and a little personal savings has been far more complex than I initially anticipated. While my professional background as an ER nurse had given me excellent people skills and time management, I had no knowledge of business management, much less how to launch a startup. I painstakingly self educated my way through formulating a business plan, establishing the LLC, and ordering my first trailer. I only wish I had discovered the services offered by the SBRC sooner, as I now know they offer these services as well. Mrs. Shannon, the director, has been fantastic to work with. She has referred me to various spokes of the program in the areas I needed help. Thanks to these services provided by the SBRC, I am able to launch my new small business feeling confident that my logo, brand presentation, website, and marketing materials come across as classy and professional, precisely the image I want for my company. Details such as having the appropriate legal contracts in place, proper professional tax advising, and a simple professional logo can become quite costly, yet without them, success is far less likely. I feel that the services provided by the SBRC are the very services that are most necessary for a small business to achieve success. So, some frequently asked questions here. Can a nonprofit receive assistance from the SBRC? The short answer is no. Unfortunately, like all government funding, they have strict guidelines and rules that dictate what the funding is and is not allowed to be used for. Since this funding is intended for the assistance of small business recovery, growth, and startup in lieu of the COVID pandemic, it is strictly focused on the for-profit businesses. There is one type of nonprofit that may be eligible, and that would be ones whose mission is to assist small businesses through their services. If you have a nonprofit that provides services to other for profit businesses and feel you may meet these terms, feel free to inquire further so we can evaluate the details and figure out if you will qualify. So again, can I get funding without using my personal credit score? Typically, your credit score will be part of the consideration since they use this to assist them in determining risk factors of lending to the business and the person who owns the business, and their known habits are still the best way for the underwriters to determine the level of risk that is involved with lending to that business. This is something that is considered typically along with a business plan that helps paint the picture of the business's potential to succeed based on the overall and statistical details within it. There may be some funding available that would not use credit scores. However, these forms of funding are usually for significantly smaller amounts and may require earnest money upfront or collateral of the business or the personal equity. This is a big one right now. Can you provide my business with employees? So at the time that the program was created, the employee shortage was not an issue. So the SBA did not make that a goal of ours. So while we can assist you with pointing you towards good sources to find potential employees, and we can help with mentoring services that could help you learn the best practices and approaches to finding and retaining employees, we don't keep any type of employee database or list anyone looking for work. We also cannot make any recommendation of employees personally or referrals of any specific person to hire. Again, we do realize in today's times, this is a very tough area for almost every business, and we hope that we're able to provide that assistance. And this may allow you to help manage this battle and be in a better position as a business to retain good employees through all other forms of assistance that we do offer. And the last one that I'll do on this is, why do I have to report details about any loans I apply for? So this goes back to our reporting. This helps us report to the SBA so that hopefully we'll get this funding renewed and we can continue to help these small businesses. So the SBRC requests specific information about any loans you seek, what type of loans and the amounts and the dates of when you applied and when you are approved or denied. This is strictly for our reporting purposes only, to show that the small businesses we serve are making steps to grow and become successful. The same applies when the coaches ask details about when you open a new location, gain additional employees, and when you have sales growth. This is all just data. Again, we're never going to ask for personal information. We are just asking for data so that we can report back to the SBA so that we can keep doing what we're doing. All right, so with that, that wraps up our what is our SBRC and how can we help you? And we're going to move right along into forming and registering your business in the state of Missouri. So, with this can be pretty intimidating for some people. So, in this section, we are actually going to do a live walkthrough on how to register your business with the state of Missouri, from creating an account, because you do have to create an account, from creating an account to actually filing. And we're going to use an LLC as an example. So, few things we're going to go over is deciding on your business idea. We're going to talk about legal entities. We're going to go over registering your business, talk about your tax IDs because, got to have those taxes, right? Unemployment insurance taxes, and some local requirements that you need to consider. Oh, you are very welcome. Happy to have you. Again, you can go on YouTube and watch this anytime you'd like. Thank you so much for being with us today. Uh, all right. So first, deciding on your business. You need to choose a business idea. You are responsible for that. We get many people that contact us and say, okay, during COVID, I found out that I no longer want to work for somebody. I want to work for myself. I want to start my own business. Okay, great. What's your business idea? I don't know. You tell me. We can't give you a business idea. You are going to have to come up with your business idea all on your own. So once you do land on that business idea, then we can move forward with talking about a name. If you have a name in mind, great. If you want us to help, we might be able to, but most chances are you're going to need to come up with that yourself. And also with that, you want to check the Missouri Secretary of State website to ensure that there is not already a business registered under that name. Um, and then you need to decide what type of legal entity that your business is going to be. Do you want to make it an LLC, a corporation, a sole proprietorship, or even a partnership? So let's talk about what some of those means. So, for a professional corporation, these are for persons licensed to practice certain professions. This category includes accountants, attorneys, physicians, real estate salespersons, etc. Somebody who is licensed to do business. A sole proprietorship or a general partnership can be formed without the involvement of the Secretary of the State. However, Missouri law does require a fictitious name registration, also known as a DBA, if a business is being conducted under a name other than the individual's. So, If you are Jane Doe and you are a sole proprietor for your business, but your business name and you do business under the name of Jane's Cookies, then you have to file a DBA or fictitious name registration with the state of Missouri. Because if that any kind of legal paperwork that says Jane's Cookies, it needs to say, Jane Doe DBA as Jane's Cookies. Or if it's got Jane's Cookies on there, again, you've got to have that fictitious name registration. An LLC, limited liability company. In this type, you may designate one or more managers to operate this type of business, or you can choose to operate under the direction of its members. A limited partnership must have at least one general partner and at least one limited partner. Until registered, both types of partners are equally responsible for any debts and obligations. And then there is a limited liability limited partnership, which gives all partners limited liability and the freedom to manage the business as if they were general partners. However, all partners in an LLP can be involved in the active management of the business, unlike the setup of a limited partnership formation. So here's a little bit of a comparison about some of these. So for an LLC, and give me a moment here, I've got to blow it up because on my end it appears a lot smaller. So give me just a moment. Do apologize. I thought it was going to be big enough for me. All right, here we go. So for an LLC, this is better for maximum flexibility in how you manage and run your business, and a board of directors is not required. But you can have unlimited owners or members for this type of business. As far as protections and taxation goes, you are not personally on the hook for business liabilities with an LLC, and you are taxed once or twice, and you're free to choose which can help minimize those taxes. Now, something you do need to consider, ongoing filings and fees are required to stay in compliance. LLCs cannot go public, and they are not recognized globally, so you may be taxed as a corporation in other countries if you're doing international business. As an S corporation or S corp, this is better for smaller corporations. You can only have 100 shareholders, and your owners can only get common stock. As far as protections and taxations, again, you're not personally on the hook for any business liabilities, but here you are taxed once and only shareholders pay on the profits that are received. Some drawbacks, there again, ongoing filings and fees to stay in compliance. There is less management flexibility and you must have a board of directors. And this requires more admin and strict rules about holding meetings and keeping records. And all shareholders must be U.S. citizens or residents. So that brings us to a C Corp. This is best if you plan to go public one day and you can issue shares to founders, employees, and investors. You can have unlimited owners. So an S Corp, you have, excuse me, 100 shareholders max. And here with a C Corp, you can have unlimited shareholders. Here, the owner can get preferred stock. This is recognized internationally, and this is actually preferred by investors. Again, like with the previous two, you're not personally on the hook for business liabilities, but you are taxed twice. The business pays at the corporate level, and the shareholders pay on the income received. Some drawbacks, again, ongoing filings and fees to stay in compliance. There is less management flexibility and you must have a board of directors, just like an S Corp. And again, more admin, strict rules about holding meetings and keeping records. And last but not least, the sole proprietorship. So this is what we were talking about with the DBA and the fictitious name registration. This is better if you need an easy setup and there is no paperwork to start. You may still need a DBA or a business license to operate legally. So again, state of Missouri, a DBA is required, and there is a one owner max. That's it, because it is a sole proprietorship. And you are personally on the hook for business liabilities. You are taxed once and you pay on your profits in your personal tax return. There is less hassle and there's a separate tax return that isn't needed for this. And there's no personal liability protection. So again, with this sole proprietorship, you are the business is you. So if something happens and somebody wants to sue your business, they are suing you personally. So any of your assets could be on the chopping block there. Right. And we're going to go over some scenarios. If you would like to participate, you are more than welcome to. You can either take yourself off of mute or put your answer in the chat. It's not required. So in the first scenario, widget company is a larger business. It has many founders and investors. So they all could profit further from the business. They became owners or shareholders. There are 225 owners of Widget Company, and Widget Company's entity is a type that is recognized internationally. Widget Company has a board of directors with strict rules about holding meetings and keeping records. Widget Company is actually taxed twice. The business pays at a corporate level and the shareholders pay at the income received. What type of business entity is Widget Company? Okay, we've got some action in the chat. C Corp, thank you very much. All right, and then the last scenario that I'll put you all through. Brittany Boyer has opened a bakery. She does not file any paperwork with the Secretary of State for articles of incorporation, though. Brittany is the only owner of her business, and she is personally liable for any debts or liabilities of her business. If you purchase a cake from Brittany, the receipt shows the name as Brittany's Bakes. Brittany did file a fictitious name registration with the state of Missouri, so Brittany Boyer can do business under the name Brittany's Bakes. Also, Brittany is also taxed once on the profits in her personal tax return. What type of business entity does Brittany have?
Disclaimer, I could bake good cakes, but I do not have a legit business.
All right, and thank you again. Absolutely, sole proprietorship. All right, so let's talk about registering your business. In the state of Missouri, there is no state business license that is required. However, you do need to register your business entity with the state of Missouri. And with that, we will go ahead and do this walkthrough. With that, I am going to stop sharing the PowerPoint and share my screen, and we'll hop on here and take you guys through this walkthrough. Again, this is something that we see people get intimidated by, and this is something just as simple as filling out your registration with us. It's very, very simple, and it's a quick, easily, painless process. So let me share my screen. And there we go. All right. So when you get to the Missouri Secretary of State, this is what you're going to see. And this provides you with many different ways to go. But if you want to file a business, what you have to do is actually create an account. You cannot file a business without creating an account. At least that is not something I have found to be able to do. And creating an account, very quick and painless, no problem at all. So you'll just click on that create account. You'll create your user ID. You'll put in your password. It'll ask you a security question. Put your answer here. Make sure you keep this information somewhere so you don't forget it. And then you'll go ahead and fill in your information. So this is going to be the, who you are and things like that. So last name, first name, middle name, and then what country you're in. So if you're here, you'll probably go ahead and choose the USA. Put in your address, and then you'll put in your contact information. You'll agree to the terms and conditions after you go through them, and then you will create your account. Once that is complete, yes, I know. Once that is complete, then you'll go ahead and come back to your login page and you'll put in your information. I've created a faux account to be able to do these walkthroughs. So I've put in my information here and we're going to go ahead and log in. This takes you to your dashboard, we'll say, and this you can figure out what you want to do. LLC filings, nonprofit filings, other type of business entities, registration reports, fictitious names. There you go. That's sole proprietor, register fictitious name, renew fictitious name. Fictitious names do have to be renewed. I believe it is every 5 years. So that is something that you will have to renew. Otherwise, you do lose that registration, which then if you continue to do business and you don't have that registration renewed, that is in violation of Missouri law. So you really need to be careful. So just make sure you set a reminder, calendar reminder, something that says, hey, renew this each year, or talk to your CPA or your attorney about them doing it for you, however you would like to proceed with that. So for today's run through, we are going to create an LLC. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And we are going to be having a domestic business. So here in the United States, and let's get rolling. All right, so if you have an idea for a business, if you have the name already picked out, but you're not ready to file, you can actually come onto the Secretary of State's website and reserve that name so no one else can have it. Because as an LLC, you cannot have the same name as another business. So you can come on here, reserve that name, and then that registration, that's where you would put in that reservation number for that name registration. So if you did not already do the reservation, you don't have to worry about this. So what we're going to look at here is your business name. So if we do, let's see, XYZ LLC, you're going to click next, but this is going to tell you XYZ LLC, the name you entered, is not available. So, and then it tells you there's a list of potential name conflicts, but it doesn't quite list those. So let's talk about this for a moment here. All right, so I wanted my company to be XYZ something, right? Okay, so what is my address, or what am I going to be working with? Am I going to be making widgets? Am I going to be making cups? So let's talk about using an address. So what if we did XYZ and your business was located at 123 Main Street? So let's do XYZ 123 LLC. Let's see if that name is available for us. And it looks like it is. So our business name did have to be changed just a little bit from our original thinking, but XYZ 123, hey, we can take that, right? So, specify the events, if any, on which the limited liability company is to dissolve, or the number of years the limited liability company is to continue. So, if this is something that we want to continue on forever and ever, pass down, things like that, we want it to be perpetual. We want it to continue all the time. The management of the limited liability company is vested in who is going to manage it. Is it going to be our members or the manager? For sake of argument, we're going to say the manager or owner is going to be the one who is managing this business. So the purpose for which the limited liability company is organized, this is going to be a general statement that is put in there. Give me just a moment here. I'm going to pop up. Whoop, whoop. There we go. And we're going to use this right here. And we are going to put that in there. The transaction of any lawful business for which a limited liability company may be organized under the Missouri Limited Liability Company Act, Chapter 347. So that is a general description and purpose that you can put in there that is accepted. And if we don't want this to be effective as of today, if we're thinking, okay, I don't want to do it today, I really want to get this kicked off, say November 4th, you can put that in there, or you can put today's date in there. And well, if today's date, you would leave it blank, I apologize. A series LLC, that is something that gets a little messy. We really won't get into that, but that is when an LLC is like an umbrella and then it's got little LLCs underneath of it. So it can get a little messy. We typically don't consult on a lot of those. So once we've got all the information in there, then we're going to go ahead and talk about our registered agent. So our registered agent is going to be you. So we will put in there, John L. Smith. Oh, you know what? I think I apologize. Jane Doe. I believe I used Jane Doe for this with our business. Yeah. So we're going to say, we are Jane Doe, and we're going to go ahead and select Jane Doe to be our registered agent. We're going to go through to the organizer, which again can be Jane Doe. And the address that I'm putting in here is just our office address. Let's see. Go. And it fills everything in there. And we're going to go ahead and save. And making sure all of this is correct. Yes, Jane Doe, that is the correct address. Okay. And what is going to be the address of our business? So we can put in there 123 Main Street. Whoop. And we're just selecting something here. We're not going to go through and completely submit this filing, but this is just to show. So because our company name, right, is XYZ123 LLC, because we're located at 123 Main Street. So next we're going to go into review the filing. This is where you're going to make sure that everything is correct. You are the filer, Jane Doe. This is your address. Absolutely. This is your contact information. The name of the company is XYZ123 LLC. Yep, that is correct. There's no typos, weird spacing, anything like that. And then, yep, we're a limited liability company. We are domestic here in the USA. We want this to continue on perpetually. We are managing this ourselves. The purpose is correct in there. Future effective date is blank because we want this to be effective as of today. We are not going to be a series LLC, so we're not checking that box. Jane Doe, we are the registered agent. We are also the organizer. Wonderful. Here's the address of the actual brick and mortar business. If you do not have a business brick and mortar store picked out, or you're not going to have one, you can make that your address. So just keep that in mind too. So next we're going to go ahead. Whoop. What did I miss here? Oh, I always miss this box. I even make myself a note to not miss the box, and I always do, never fails. So next we go to the signatures. And we're going to add our signer, which is going to be us. And we are the organizer. Save. Oh, sorry about that. All right, and now we've got everything wrapped up. We're going to go to our cart. And this is the one from previous that we did. So we'll just remove that. And here we are. So this is what we're getting. We're going to be getting our articles of organization here. The fee for this is $50. And then when you click this next button, you go on to the payment. We're not going to click past this screen today, but you go on to the next one. You enter in your payment information, you continue, and you submit that payment. I believe there is a convenience fee, as it says on here. You'll be able, it's just a couple dollars. So you are able to go through, create your account, file your LLC or your registration, click through to the payment information, enter your credit, debit card information, whatever you're choosing to pay with. Click through submit, and you then submit your articles of incorporation to register your LLC with the Missouri Secretary of State. Most of the time it's approved fairly quickly. I'm not going to put any timelines or guarantees on that. It is, of course, up to them, and we're not part of that entity, but you will receive that articles of incorporation back. So, I mean, there it is in a nutshell. It's very easy. Like I said, sometimes it can be intimidating because you're on the Missouri Secretary of State site. It's your business. You don't want to mess anything up. But the good thing about this is you kind of can't mess up. And if you do, you can come back here and you can amend and correct that. So, don't be intimidated by anything. Everything can be fixed. So don't let that stop you. Don't let something as small as this stop you from moving forward with your business. So with that, let's go ahead and get back to the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And okay, stop sharing. We're going to go back to the PowerPoint. Let me get back to our page. And here we are. All right, so this is immediately where we left off. And your tax IDs. So why do I need a tax ID? Various reasons, such as opening a business bank account, obtaining a business loan or line of credit, and processing and filing your payroll taxes. So everybody knows you don't want to mess with the federal government's money, so make sure your taxes are in order. So as far as federal, an employer identification number, or EIN, also known as a federal employer identification number, or FEIN, is used to identify a business entity, much like an individual social security number is used. You can apply on the IRS website at irs.gov/EIN. This is a free service. As far as the state goes, a Missouri tax ID or sales tax license must be obtained by a business if it sells goods or provides a taxable service. You can register for that on the Missouri Department of Revenue website at dor.mo.gov/register-business. And unemployment insurance taxes. If your small business has an employee working in Missouri, you may be liable for Missouri state unemployment insurance tax contributions. To find out if you are liable, you can visit the Missouri Department of Revenue website at the link that's provided, or you can contact a CPA or accountant. And finally, your local requirements. Due diligence is key here. You need to check with your local city and county agencies regarding licensing and permit requirements, sales tax requirements, business property taxes, zoning regulations, and other local requirements to lawfully operate a business within their jurisdictions. So you've went through, you've filed everything with the state of Missouri Secretary of State, you've gotten your federal tax ID numbers, you've got your Missouri tax IDs, and now you are getting ready to set up shop at 123 Main Street. And then here comes a member from town hall knocking on your door saying, "Excuse me, did you apply for a business license with the city?" Oh, you didn't? Well, you can't open until you do that. So you've got to make sure that you are checking with pretty much everyone in your state, county, and city that you are opening this business within the letter of the law, that you are legally operating that business, that you are permitted and licensed to do so, that your local taxes are set up to come out of your sales and for you to pay them. So you really just need to make sure that you are completing your due diligence to make sure that you are covered and you have everything you need to open that business and successfully run that business, especially if it's a brick and mortar store. And we are running right on time. I am so happy, you guys. I was worried that I was going to get long-winded. All right, so this brings us to Facebook and branding for your small business. Give me just a moment. I'm going to take a big swig of water here. Ooh, okay. So here we're going to talk about your logo, the 5 W's, recognizing your sponsors and your partners. That's going to be a big one. And branding and the importance of consistency, knowing your target audience, and Facebook. So with this, before we go any further, we are not going to be discussing SEO. We will not discuss search engine optimization. I have dabbled in that lightly, and I am nowhere near a pro at being able to explain that, to use that, to even really talk knowledgeably on it. All I can say is algorithms for different sites are constantly changing and updating, and sponsored ads are popping up. And if you don't use a certain word, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So this is just not something, I mean, we could spend a very, very long time talking about SEO. So that is why we do not discuss it. So with that, I apologize if your hopes were dashed in any way with me closing that out of this portion, but we will not be discussing it, but hope you stick around for the Facebook because we got some really good stuff for you. So let's first talk about your logo. You want your logo to reflect the nature of your business. You want to choose your colors wisely. You want it to be easily describable, ensure readability. You want a timeless shape if you go with any type of shape, and you want it to be memorable. So let's talk about a few of those. Your colors, you do not want to put hot pink on top of, lime green. That's really hard. That could be really hard for some people to see, especially on a bright and sunny day, an overcast day, anything. That is going to be hard to discern between those letterings and the background and everything. So you want to make sure that you're choosing contrasting colors like white on blue, blue on white, red, things like that. You want contrasting colors to make sure that your letters are easily readable. With that also brings, in today's world, not a lot of people read or write in cursive. So you see some of these signs. We have a new business here in town, and um, it's beautiful. The way that everything was done was beautiful. They have this big, beautiful, ornate metal sign, but the font that was used on the sign is very hard to read. One, it is in cursive. I can read and write in cursive proficiently, but the font that was used for this particular type of cursive is hard to read. It's at a slant. The background of it is very hard, and it's very slim. They put this sign up on the side of a building that's kind of set off of the road. It's very slim and hard to read. So you want to make sure that your customers and the people passing by can actually read your sign. You want to use a font that people can see and people can read. If you want to use a shape, use a timeless shape. Use a star, use a circle, use a square. Use something that's a little bit timeless, an outline of a silhouette. Those are very popular right now. So use something that's timeless and something that even if someone can't read your sign, they can be like, oh, I just went to this great store. I don't remember the name of it, but on the sign, there was a star and there was a red star and the writing on it is blue. So if I'm going down Main Street looking for this certain business that I don't know the name of, but oh, look, there's a sign. It has a red star and blue writing. That's got to be it. Okay, perfect. So I know what I'm looking for because somebody else can't tell me the name of your business, but they can tell me what your sign looks like. So branding and the importance of consistency. So you want to make sure that you are being consistent with your designs and marketing to establish your brand identity by using the following. Again, avoid hard to read fonts on materials. You want your logo colors to match with your brand colors. And you want to try to stick with the same fonts. So if you're doing different flyers, if you're posting up pictures, if you're posting on Facebook or any type of social media, your website, try to be consistent with the fonts that you use. Because if you're using typewriter font over here on this one thing, and then you're using real loopy cursive over here on another thing, people might not relate those two to your business because you're using fonts that are kind of all over the place. But if you want to use cursive and type together, make sure that on everything you're using, it's got that cursive and type as well. All right, so recognizing your sponsors and your partners. You need to make sure you're giving credit where credit is due. If you partnered with or were, I'm sorry, give me just a moment. I'm going to sneeze. I apologize. I'm going to turn my mic off real quick. I'm so sorry. All right, give credit where credit is due. If you partnered with or were sponsored by another entity, please be sure to include that recognition by including their logos on signage at events, thanking them when giving a speech or an interview, and including their logos on advertisements and trainings. So, signage. We go to a football game or a baseball game or something like that, and the fence is lined with banners. These banners are of sponsors. They are people, local businesses who have donated to that athletic program to get them new jerseys, new field, new something. And hanging these banners up is a way of recognizing those local businesses, those sponsors, of saying thank you and here's your recognition as being a supporter of your hometown school's athletic department. Thank you so much. Thanking them when giving a speech or an interview. We've all seen races, sports, anything where they're interviewing a certain player or the racer or the person who won, and they're like, I want to thank, you know, this energy drink. I want to thank this athletics clothing supplier. I want to thank this one and that one. So they're giving those shout outs. They're giving credit where credit is due. And then including their logos on advertisements and trainings. Us here at the SBRC, anytime you see the SBRC logo, you will also see the JFCAC logo as excuse me, as well as the SBA logo because we are funded by the SBA. So just make sure that you're including that information on there, giving credit where credit is due. So let's talk about the 5 W's. Who is your audience? What do they care about? And when do they need your help? Where do they go for help? And why should they come to you? So let's start with knowing who your audience is. You need to understand that you will market to different audiences based on several factors like business type, demographic, income level, age group, and needs. So for that example, you would want to put on animated animated depictions for children or child-related entities. If you're trying to run a lawn care service for homeowners in a subdivision, you would want to market to people in a subdivision rather than in an apartment complex. Because think about it, people in subdivisions, they have a yard. They're going to need lawn services. People who live in an apartment complex aren't going to have a yard to mow. Their maintenance takes care of it, or there's just no grass around. So make sure you know and you understand who your target audience is, and you're not wasting your time marketing yourself to people who don't need your services. And then finally, new dog nail trimmers. If you're selling dog nail trimmers, go to pet groomers, go to veterinary offices, things like that. Also, what result are you trying to obtain? Do you want to drive sales? Are you just trying to get out there in the community so people know that you're there? Or do you want investments from sponsors and partners so that you can get up and running, you can do a certain event, things like that. So you need to figure out everything about those 5 W's. So, where can you create marketing materials? One, if your company is large enough, you can go to your company's graphics or marketing department. There are some online platforms you can go to, such as Canva, Vistaprint, Photoshop, Shutterstock, and many more. Now, as a disclaimer, the JFCAC, SBRC, and the SBA have no affiliations with these companies. They are just listed as examples only. These are user-friendly platforms that you can go to and create things and get printed materials from. All right, so finally, this brings us to Facebook. Facebook is a free tool at your disposal. Yes, there are things that you can pay for on Facebook to sponsor your ads and get certain features, but this is a free tool that is at your fingertips. I urge a lot of companies to use Facebook. If they themselves, the owners, don't understand how to, I urge them to reach out to someone to have them get a social media manager because social media is out there. It is in front of everyone. There are algorithms on there that can boost your posts and everything else. So just make sure as a business owner, you are utilizing Facebook as that free tool that's in your tool shed. So on Facebook, you can do a couple different things. You can create your own personal page where you can add and connect with friends. You can join community groups or hobby groups, things like that. And you can also share your business page's posts, which is optional. And then you can create your business page. You can invite people to like and share your page. You can join groups that are, related to your business, and you can promote your business. With this, though, there are a few things we need to talk about on your personal page. Your personal page can be utilized in a few different ways, and it is completely up to you. After all, it is your page. But for this webinar's purpose, we're going to look at two different options. So one, you are going to keep it personal and not connected to your business at all, because you need to stay mindful of what you're posting. Even though it is your personal page, people may still base their patronage of your business off of your personal views and opinions. So the company that I use for this Facebook webinar is a pogo stick company, and we'll get into that. But even though you're selling pogo sticks, what could be, controversial about pogo sticks? They're fun. You bounce on them. There's extreme pogo sports, extreme pogo stick sports. There's all kinds of stuff about pogo sticks, but um, when you, as the owner of a pogo stick business, say start posting political views or things like that, people it can go one of two ways. People can go, oh yeah, absolutely, I want to support this person or in their business, or oh my god, that's really what they think. I'm never going to their business again. I'm never going to their restaurant again. I'm never buying a pogo stick from them again. It doesn't matter. So you want to stay mindful of what you are posting on your personal page, because we've all heard it, oh my God, you're creeping on somebody's page, because that happens. People want to know more about people these days, and that information is readily available. So just be mindful, even if you are keeping your personal page completely separate from your business page, still be mindful of the things that you're posting. Or you can go with your second option, and you can use your personal page to, connect with friends as well as prospective customers and vendors. On this option, the people who are going to be connected and involved with your business, they get to know you on a personal level, and they get to know the person or the family behind the business. You can promote your business page on your personal page by posting about it, sharing your business posts, and this lets your friends know about your business as well. And you can also use your personal page to get feedback before officially offering an item or a service. I have a friend, she owns a very wonderful boutique in our town, and there are things, if she is iffy about putting them, or a new vendor or new items, if she's iffy about offering them in her store, she actually gets on her personal Facebook page and says, hey guys, here's a picture. What do you think about this? What do you think about this price point? What would you guys buy this? Would you guys not buy this? Do you think it's too early to start putting Christmas stuff in the store? She uses her friends as her little, feedback and her, kind of guinea pigs to see how other people are going to react. So that is a way that she can also decide what she wants to officially offer in her store. So let's get to your business page. Your business page should convey a clear message of what your business is about. If you are making and selling pogo sticks, do not post photos of skateboards. Don't be talking about skateboards. Unless you are talking about officially offering skateboards in your pogo stick business and being pogo sticks and skateboards, don't be talking about skateboards. It can give the wrong message. People can go on there looking for pogo sticks, and they start seeing pictures of skateboards. They're going to get really confused and think that they're in the wrong spot. You want to try to include your logo as your profile photo, that is recommended, or your cover photo. And you want to use your About section to briefly but effectively describe your business. And you want to create and share business events like grand opening, sales, etc. You want to make sure you are keeping your audience in the know. So, how do you create a business page? If you already have a Facebook account, you can log into your Facebook account, click Menu, and then Pages, and then you can click the plus sign where it says Create, And once you get started, you'll fill in the requested information, such as business name, business category, and basic account information. You'll want to make sure that you do provide the most current information, especially contact information. And then you can publish your page and start posting your business content. So, what kind of content do you want to post? Creating content for your business page can range from easy to difficult. Create a content calendar to help. Consistently post. You want to make it a point to post a predetermined number of times per week. People are visual, of course. They want to know what the outside looks like, what the inside looks like, things like that. So post pictures of the outside and inside and around your store. You want to talk about improvements to your building, new window decor, or merchandise displays. You can post about services, items for sale, projects you're working on or have completed, new vendors that are coming in. And then you want to make sure that your content is engaging, short, sweet, and to the point. You want to present a solution to your customers and a call to action. And do not post and share non-business related content. That is a big one. Again, if you are selling pogo sticks, don't be talking about skateboards, don't be talking about politics, things like that. People come there because they're interested in pogo sticks. So just keep that in mind. So here's an example of a post that we made with our agency. So this is a flyer for one of our other webinars that we had earlier in the year. So the image clearly conveys a message. And of course, your images can be more simple. And there is a question. Is your business prepared for a disaster? Here's the answer. We can help. This webinar can help. And there's a call to action. Register now with the website link. So the actual post, spring is here. Are you and your small business prepared? So it does not regurgitate that information. The post doesn't talk about exactly what is in the image, and the image does not talk about exactly what's in the post. So you'll just want to, present that call to action, ask that question, present a solution, tell them how that you can help. And earlier I mentioned a content calendar. This is a very helpful tool, especially when you're trying to run your own business as well as your own social media page or pages. So what should you include? You can begin with a calendar, preferably a digital calendar. You can use your iPhone, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, and you can decide what days you want to post on. And there are actual content calendar programs out there, but if you're just getting going, using your own digital calendar is going to be a free way that you can do this content calendar. It won't cost you anything. You can set your own alarms, things like that. Decide what days you want to post on. Do you want to do every other day? Do you want to do every day? That might be a little overboard, but hey, people like it. So when do you want to post? And then create a reminder on the day, which includes the post name, what the post is supposed to say, links, if there are any links that you need, and the image. Also, just saying, if you do have some downtime, you can actually draft these posts ahead of time on Facebook and then schedule them to be posted on the target date. All right. So let's talk about what a content calendar entry would look like. So here I just create an example. So for our Pogo business, we are going to have a sale. This sale is BOGO Pogos, and that is going to be scheduled for a certain date. And this is when the start date and the due date here, this is when I want to post this. So BOGO sale announcement this Saturday, June 10th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. only. Our medium-sized pogo sticks will be buy one, get one 50% off while supplies last. And then there's the image that I want to use in that post. So in this calendar entry, this tells me that I want to post this on Monday, June 5th. I want to get that done on that day. I'm going to copy and paste what the post says, and then I'm going to pull that image on over to the Facebook post as well, get it posted and put it on there. That way people know this weekend we're going to have a BOGO Pogo sale. So that is something that you can do. Again, on your iPhone calendar, on your Google calendar, on your Outlook calendar, however you want to do that. It's a great resource to have. And again, a free one if you do it that way. All right, so you've created your business page, you're posting content, and people are, they're posting back, they're commenting, they're sharing, they're doing things. So what do you want to do? You want to respond, good, bad, or otherwise, respond. People, possible customers, viewing your page want to see that you're involved with your customers. They want to see the warm and fuzzy stuff, but they also want to see the not so nice stuff. They want to see what other people are saying about you, your products and services, and how you respond to what they say. Be kind in every response. Be honest in every response and own your mishaps, but also don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and your business. Some people are truly never happy, even if they receive the 100% gold standard top tier treatment. So someone comes on there and they say, "Hey, I just bought this pogo stick and it was amazing. I've never jumped so high on a pogo stick before. I think I'm going to enter in a contest now." You go back on there and you comment, "Thank you. We appreciate your business and we hope that all goes well in that. This is great to hear. We'll be on the lookout for, or share the information on the contest with us too." Go in there, can thank them for their business. Thank you for their kind words, and just be responsive to them, be interactive with them. But on the same time, when someone comes in there and says, "Hey, I bought this medium-sized pogo stick, jumped on it twice and it broke." And you remember this person and you say, "Well, thank you for visiting our BOGO Pogo sale on Saturday. We did remember that we did recommend a large sized pogo stick for you based on how you were going to use it, and that the medium may not hold up. We apologize that the medium didn't hold up. If you'd like to come back in, maybe we can get you set up with a pogo stick, the large size pogo stick, so that it holds up to the activities that you're doing." Um, this is something that somebody could say, "Oh, they look at and, oh, that's why they had a sale on these pogo sticks because they're chintzy." No, no, we had a sale because we wanted to move products, and this one broke because a person was using it improperly, or the person was too large for a medium-sized pogo stick. So they want to make sure that you are in there and you're providing that answer so that they stay informed too. So good, bad, or otherwise, just make sure that you're responding, you're talking to people, you're interacting with people, you're thanking people, and you're addressing people, owning your mistakes. If it is in fact a defective pogo stick and you're on there saying, "Yeah, we actually just got the notification from the manufacturer that these are defective. If you come in, we'll make you a great deal on a new one. We've got the new reinforced ones that are in." So just always be in there and responding to people. And lastly, how can the SBRC help? We can refer you to our resource partner to work with you free of cost to develop and create your logo and branding, your website and social media page, and again, your business cards, signage, merchandise, etc. And that is for the development and the creation. We cannot cover, again, the cost of your advertising campaigns or billboards, the continual cost of running a website or social media management, and the tangible physical materials like cards, signs, and merchandise. So, with that, do we have any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Now is the time. You can either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. I'm always open to hearing opinions, answering questions, anything. And with that, as some of you know, we are also having an afternoon session today. Oh, and I put in there 2 to 3. That's supposed to be 2 to 3:30. My apologies. We're having that afternoon hour and a half long session, 2 to 3:30, and that is going to again consist of what is the SBRC, because we'll go over that again, and then we're also going to talk about disaster preparedness for your small business and cybersecurity for your small business. You can register for that afternoon session by visiting our website website at jfcac.org/SBRC. Brittany just shared that link in the chat for you, so you can click there and go to that. And then also, if there are some other trainings that you would like to see that we haven't already covered, please let us know. We're happy to develop those trainings and provide those. And then if there are previous trainings we've provided that you want to see, or see what other trainings we have provided, you can go to our official YouTube channel. When you go to YouTube, you can look up at JFCAC_SBRC, and you can see some of our previous trainings there. And as always, we appreciate you. We appreciate you attending our webinar today. Again, this is data by you attending. That is data that we can report to the SBRC that we are providing training and resources to small businesses and entrepreneurs, people who are interested in being an entrepreneur and starting their own business. So as always, we appreciate you. Our contact information is there. You can call us at 489-7272, or you can go to our website, which also has our information on there, but you can also sign up for our services or get some more information. So with that, I will say thank you all so much. We appreciate you being here today. We hope we helped. And if you're interested in that afternoon session, please make sure that you do register for it on our website, and we'll see you later today if you do. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone. Have a great day.